Hey.
Hooray!
For some reason jumping. Um, this is the behind the scenes video. If you haven't seen the trailer, click here. Oh, please remember to put an annotation there, otherwise that looks so stupid. Um, yeah, so me and Fred
Oh,
Lilly,
okay, yeah, it's
the
okay.
main makers of the maps, are going to go through a little bit of stuff and explain
How
how it
stuff
works.
works.
Yeah. So I think we should start at the start, and that's the spawn platform. So you've probably seen this in any number of Seth Bling's maps. It's literally just copied and pasted in. So
So
yeah,
what happens? Should we? Let's explain anyway. So you fall on the tripwires. Well, this covers the whole spawn platform. So wherever you land in spawn, you trigger these tripwires, which all of them set off these command blocks under here, wherever they are.
yeah.
Hopefully Ronan is showing you because I'm not actually recording my screen. But yeah, and they set your game mode and teleport you into the sort of starting room over here.
Yep. And then also right next to here is this minecart contraption, and all that does is every so often it
Weather
sets
control device.
yeah it sets the time and also fixes all the game rules. Because if you like, I don't know, if you move, I'm not sure if you move the map, it might. Yeah, I'm not sure how the game rules are stored, so it's best to have them update every so often. I find so.
So it's a long delay timer that just triggers the things
Yeah, I don't
every
know.
now and
I
then.
think each cobweb is about 20 seconds, so that many cobwebs.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the difficulty selector. You select a difficulty, and it activates one of these command blocks that changes the thing. This is stolen off Etho, so thanks for him. This is the basic premise of all our selectors actually, but this one's the simplest to show. So essentially, it activates this not gate, which drops them all down, and then whichever one's been pressed with the button gets lifted back up again by the button's redstone. So when you press it, you'll see that goes up, and then they all drop down. But because that one's also being because this one's being powered from the button, it doesn't drop, and that's how it works. What next?
Should we do well? The map selector works in much the same way.
Yeah, it's a bit complicated.
It's a bit more complicated because it relies on the start game signal, which comes in this purple line.
No, it's not, no, it doesn't come in on the purple line. It comes in from the white from the guy teleporting into the white box.
Oh, okay. So it comes in from the grey line over here.
What grey line?
The stone brick line.
Okay. I don't know where you are anymore. Oh, there.
Over here.
Okay, so essentially, it's the general thing again, but with more things, and then with more the same as the difficulty selector, except there's 5 of them, and it activates these pistons that push power through. They come down and turn off this line here and this line here, and then when the Markman teleports into this white box, it turns all of these off, and because this one has no longer got power, it activates these 2. This one teleports the Markman to his area, and this one teleports everyone else. And then down here, this is the spectator, so the spectator goes in, unpowers all these, and this one gets selected. And also over here, he gets given the potions and gets his inventory cleared and game mode stuff. Oop, and I've edited the map. So if you are wanting to add more maps to this, which we are fully endorsing, we're endorsing that, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Well, we're going to add some of our own anyway, I think.
Yeah,
I'm
this
certainly
isn't going to be
working
the
on
final update, so.
Well, we'll see. We're working on new maps. What I think we'll do while we're sort of playtesting this and stuff is perhaps get rid of some of the maps that people just don't like playing for whatever reason, and try out new ones, see if they like them more.
But we do have space for
but
another 4 maps.
Oh yeah, at least.
Hmm.
But I think what we'll do, if we add more maps, we won't delete any, but we might remove them from the selector.
Oh, so you can add them back in again if you want.
So you can add them back in very easily, yeah.
So all you need to do is you need to take, it's a pattern that repeats every 2, so you just need to take this slice here and put it here and put it on the next one. And then if you want to do another one, you take this slice here and put it across.
Yeah.
And it should work fine.
Yeah.
Make sure you get this little bit of redstone here as well, and the pistons, because that's important.
Yep.
This is the pod that you go into when you're spectator. And as you saw in the map select, it's it unpowers one of these, which allows a different one to be powered, activated depending on which map is selected. And when it goes through, it sets its spawn point to over there. Creative mode clears your inventory, takes away all your XP, and then gives you 10 levels, so we can keep track of who's a spectator. And then, once you either the way to get back, other than the match ending, is you just kill yourself. Doesn't sound great, but that's what it does. And you get teleported into this pod here that clears your inventory again.
Oh,
Thanks.
so it does.
As you can see, it sets your game mode back to
Creative mode.
adventure mode. It resets your spawn point. Takes away your XP. And teleports you back in there again. Next bit.
Cool. So shall I go through this? Even
Okay,
though
yeah.
you built half of it. So you're going to have to position the camera. What we have over here. So originally, if you saw some very early builds of this, you will have seen we had levers down on the player selectors, the class selectors. So you'd have to put down a lever for any classes that weren't in use, so that all 8 things would be activated, so that the game could be started. But we decided this was a bit rubbish. So what we've got now is a control panel, and that works the same as before, where you select the number of players that you want to play from 2 to 8, 2 by special request. Playing Markman with 2 people would be a bit silly, but some people wanted it, so we put it in. And that's very straightforward. That just selects one of these lines over here, as you can see.
Explain the counter first before you go on about the lines.
Okay, I'll explain the counter. So what you can see here, these white lines down here, one coming out of each thing. So a certain number of these will turn on. So if you're playing with 3 people, 3 of these will turn on, and they go into this big triangular device over here, which is called a unary adder. And what this does basically is reduce the inputs down to a kind of unary number, so base 1.
So if any 3 are on, then the first 3 here will be on.
So if you have any 3 on, it outputs 1 1 1. And if you have any 4 on, it outputs 1 1 1 1, 0 0 0 0, etc. And then those come out on the blue lines across here.
And when they're all on, it starts.
Yeah, these dark grey lines under here, you can see these torches will activate the redstone lines above, which aren't on. So what it relies... So in order for the game to start, you need to have the right number of people and the other lines enabled by the number you've selected from the control panel. Then
So
that
I'll go and
starts
swap
the game.
it. So this is set at 5, so you can see there are 5 not on. So if I change it to like 3, then you can see all but 3 are on.
Yep. And what we've also got here, so this purple line is the game start line. So when that purple line activates, that triggers all the game start logic, so teleporting people to the right map, etc. So what we've got over here is this yellow line coming down is drawn off the 5th line here. So when you have 5 or more players, it changes this line, and it changes the pod, which, well, we show the pods later, but it shows the pod which the marked man is teleported into, and changes the strength of the marked man. So when you have 5 or more players, the marked man is even more powerful. Makes it a bit fairer when you've got more players.
Okay, so we'll go back here first. So as you saw from the purple line, it activates these command blocks, and they so first it removes all the experience from people. Again, oh, that should be that. So apart from the spectators, obviously, because they're out spectating the map, waiting for it to start. Yeah, we use experience to denote who they are. So 1 to 8 is the classes, 9 is markman, and 10 is spectator. So which is why it should be 9 or lower get reset, and each one gets given a different level based on their coordinates, so which pod they're in, and then afterwards one of them at random gets teleported into this coordinate here, which is this box here. And so when they land in this box, they get given all their items from basically just from the redstone line. So these are all item ones, and then they get their Markman gets his inventory, his levels gone, added 9, so he's at 9, and then is teleported into that white pod over there, which we saw at the game start. So that's how that signal gets started. And then after he gets his spawn point set and the message produced, all the other players get teleported into their respective pods, which is basically the same. They get given their items and get their spawn point set, and it also activates this signal. Wait, if I just gonna hop, so that gets activated, they get given all this stuff, and you see this line stays on. So what that means is that this line here is on, and when that line unpowers again, the game ends and it runs this circuit, which we'll get to later. So how you unpower this line is by dying. And because your spawn point is set into this box, when you land in here, oop, I wasn't expecting that, you get teleported back to the start, and
flying is not enabled on this server.
Is it?
I got kicked.
Wow.
What have you done? Oh, and now I'm taking damage. What's going on?
I don't know.
You've broken it, Ronan.
I'm sorry.
This was bugs.
I apologise to my family and friends. So as you
Can't
see,
be having with this.
when you land in the pod, it resets the RS NOR latch and powers off this line, causing the game to end. And so if like red, purple, and black start, then red, purple, and black's lines will be on. And it waits until they get killed, and therefore the line gets reset again. I'm not very good at explaining things, am I?
It makes perfect sense. Yeah, you teleport into these things, and then into those things, and then the game starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is how we determine how many players are left alive.
Yeah.
And this white one here is for the marked man. And this actually goes around and resets every single one of them, because if Cyan here is still alive at the end, then of course his signal will be mucked up for the last one, so it has to be reset. And that's what this line here does. So it runs along,
the
resets them all.
game always ends when the marked man has died.
Yeah, resets them all, and that turns off this line over here. That activates the gaming end switch. And so
Have we tested what happens if everyone dies, and then the marked man dies?
I don't think it should do anything, but it's worth a test.
Yeah.
Okay, so if the marked man dies, then it displays this command block here, which says the hunters have won, and it then pushes this piston out here, which means that when the signal gets round from here, it doesn't activate this block, which is the
Right.
Mark Manners one. Because you couldn't have both of them activated, that'd be silly. But if the Markman doesn't die, then this block doesn't get extended, and when the signal gets down, it does activate this. And then afterwards, everyone gets set to venture mode, set the spawn point back into that room again, cleared their inventory, and teleported to the void, as you can see, -100, which is our way of killing them to stop them from having any potion effects.
Potion effects, yeah.
Because as you can see at the moment, I have -15 times 10 to the -10, I think that's how you read it, fire resist, which we can't have them keep
So
it.
we previously we had a problem with fire resist because we were dumping people in lava to kill them. But people with fire resist were surviving their swim in the lava, which was not so good.
So dumping it in the void is what we did.
Yeah, so dumping in the void, a much more reliable way of killing
And humane.
Yeah, I don't know, it depends. Drowning in lava, probably quicker. I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know, if you had to choose.
I don't know. Okay, and then this wire gets sent. This is instant wire, which I'm not sure exactly how it works, but Seth Bling's got a video.
Works through magic.
It works through Seth Bling magic.
Seth Bling magic.
And that comes all the way over here. Down here. This is where most of the redstone is taken up. And resets the game, because while the game is in progress, hopefully I can burrow through this wall. While the game is in progress, all these pistons here are activated to stop another game starting.
Look, I'll set it to 2 players.
Yep, 2 players.
Start a game.
So all the pistons are up, that means another game can't start, and that's why over here comes underneath and flips them back down again so another game can start. And most of the time you won't actually see any of that because it'll have started before you get back. Yeah. It'll have gone down before you get back and leave after you got in.
But this is so people who come along late can still be spectators if they want to. It just prevents people turning up late, screwing up the game logic for people who are currently enjoying a game.
Yeah. Okay, well, so we'll show what happens if you go into these pods. So it lands, gives you all the items.
Oh dear. Oh, this is... Also, if your name is Fredley, you never get to be Markman.
Yeah.
This we've discovered through extensive testing.
It's special logic. Oh, and the pod doesn't work if you're flying, because you don't fall onto the button. But yeah. So, we'll go back, and you can see what it looks like when the game's in progress. I can't use ender pearls while in creative mode. So annoying. Okay, so as you can see, the game has started, and Fredley, who is playing ranged, his line is lit up. But when he dies, he gets teleported into here, and his line gets depowered again. And then because he's the last one alive, all this line gets unpowered. And all this runs as we previously stated. I'm gonna...
It's very exciting.
Shooting at me.
It works. It works flawlessly.
Yeah, as we've seen through all our tests, and they failed each time.
It worked once or twice.
Yeah, I think it did. Okay, next on to how the games themselves... Because that's all the common logic that's between... Did you write that?
No.
Okay, we've done all the common logic between the games. So now let's look
at complex and see how the game starting logic works. So when the game starts, you have the Markman in a separate place to everyone else, and the Markman, in most of the map, gets a head start to get away a bit before the chasers, the hunters, start.
Yeah, and so
so yeah, what we do is we have timing circuits. So the people get teleported into their respective spots,
So the
and
hunters
then
are down here.
yeah, and then when the markman leaves, as you can see on this one, they are forced to trigger a pressure plate, which opens this iron door, and
Says
also
the
triggers
message.
this redstone, which starts. Well, yeah, first it does a game start message, but it also starts the timing logic for
So
the
this
hunters.
is some red wool in a... It falls through a cobweb, and that takes a while, which is how the delay is made. And then it hits this pressure plate. This oh, you've managed to hit it with your arrow. It hits the tripwire, which opens the doors, and we'll go up and down and see that. Oh. Okay, so it hits the tripwire, activating this, activating the RS NOR latch over here, which displays the match has started message, and unpowers this to open the door. So the door is just above this block here, and this long timing circuit happens. In this one, it's loads of repeaters. In some of them, it's more cobwebs. It just depends on, because this one's horizontal, the other ones are vertical. So as you can see, the timing happens, and when it reaches 0, the doors close again. And it also displays this message. No, not doesn't display a message. It also teleports everyone who are currently still in the little chamber. So if they're in here, it centers around this point, I think. It teleports them to the outside. So if they've started the game and gone AFK, they don't get trapped in there. So they teleport to here, and they can be killed by the markman or whatever, because they've clearly disappeared and aren't playing anymore. It's happened a couple of times. Okay, so as you may have noticed, jungle is different. So the hunters start in this little pod, which is just outside the jungle map, and the markman starts in here. And essentially, it just starts when he hits the button. Stop that. He hits the button. It teleports him into his point, and the hunters into their point, and displays the message. So that's all that is. It's just because
just
we
give them
found
a chance to put on their armor and stuff.
we found the delay was annoying.
Yeah, jungle is a bit too easy to hide.
Yeah, the hunter would disappear and never be seen again. Although he still sort of is anyway.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if recent additions mitigate that.
Okay, you might notice there's like italics and bold and stuff on the text. This is standard Minecraft, but we used a mod to actually put it in. All it is this little symbol, and then you can define different colours and boldness and text and stuff. So there's a couple of mods out there. You can do it through MC Edit and stuff. So if you're wondering how that's happened, just search. It's pretty standard. People have done it. And also the credits room over here, the heads. More heads. Why so many heads?
Because you can never have too many heads.
You can't. Another thanks for Seth Bling for them. He had a filter that does that. So I think the one in the middle looks the most handsome.
Yeah, I think you're biased. Creepers never go out of fashion.
What button am I looking for? F5. Really? Just taking screenshots now. Oh, and this is just, in case you didn't notice, it's a torch with an item frame and a
Nether brick fence.
That's all that is. I thought it looked cool, so it's in.
Torch bracket. Copyright Ronan Foreman.
Yep, you're not allowed to use that at all.
Yeah, it's patented.
If you do, I'll sue you. Come after you. I'll make sure you never work in this town again. Okay, well, thanks for joining us on our rambly tour of the map. I'm sure people could have done better tours, but they didn't.
Yeah,
So
it wasn't that great, but it's better than no tour at all, possibly, if you're really interested in stuff.
yeah,
Um,
if you know what you're doing already, then you can probably work out what we did. If you don't, then you're probably so
Learn
confused.
absolutely nothing.
One final thing, you are free to use this map however you like. If you decide, ooh, what about if we had a variant where the Markman was invisible, or what if we had a variant where he was a dinosaur? You can do that. I'm not sure how you
Is
can
there a
do that.
dinosaur mod for Minecraft? Because there ought to be.
Or, I don't know, maybe you could like get a dinosaur head and make him wear it. I don't know. But yeah, you can do whatever you like with that. And just make sure you don't say you made
That's
it all.
weird. Why
What?
isn't this water spreading? Oh, it is spreading. Lag.
Make sure you just say it's Markman and it's not something you've made. Well, it is something you've made, but it's not something you've made from
Basically,
scratch. Cause
yeah, just give us credit.
and we shall be happy bunnies and creepers.
Yes. You've gone silent.
Yeah, I know.
We're
Okay.
gonna need to do a cut there.
Yeah, retake. Means that this one here is off, and I'm confused now. I'm seriously confused.
So
What have I done here?
assume
And that you
it
magically.
really doesn't matter if there's like a slightly dodgy cut. I'm sure we'll get no complaints.
I'm sure we'll get all the complaints. I'm sure we'll get no views.
Yeah, well, that's fairly standard for arcade community
Hmm.
YouTube channel. But hey, who gives?
And Fredley is an invisible wool block.
Now I'm an invisible obsidian block.
Oh.